wrapped up a number of games, I think 5 in total, leaving us nearly complete of game week 26. We've got one final game tomorrow. Brentford are taking on the Arsenal. But just from a United perspective, I wanted to take to the mic and just discuss the outcome, the results of game week 26 so far. Irrespective of what happens, I think that the table's not going to change too much with one game to go. But just wanted to discuss the table a little bit. And as you guys can see in the picture, but everyone from number 1, Arsenal, to number 19, everyone's within touching distance of one another, or of the one above them. So everyone's within 3 points max as things stands at the top of the table. Manchester City are within 3 points of Arsenal. They need to win tomorrow to extend that lead. And if they do, then at the top of the table, there would be 6 points. And at the bottom of the table, 19th, which is Burnley, are 6 points behind West Ham. Other than that, everyone's within 3 points of each other. And for me, this is why this game at West Ham for Man United was extremely important. Today, we've just seen, and I was following the results, following the matches intently, but everything went against us. After an hour, Aston Villa were drawing 0-0, so were Liverpool. Manchester City had won. They were winning 3-0, cruising, no problems. But by the end of the 90 minutes, both Aston Villa and Liverpool won their respective games, which meant that United and Chelsea were the only losers at the top of the table. Now, Liverpool are within touching distance. They're only 2 points behind Chelsea, 3 points behind United. This was such a big chance and opportunity for Man United, for Carrick, to extend our lead to Liverpool. And as it turns out, it's just a very, very bad weekend, I feel. Funny that all over the channels, everyone's talking about Shesko and everyone's, just putting United up. But that's not the stuff of champions. I'm not saying they're going to be champions this year, but that's not the mentality that we want for Man United, from Man United people. Carrick's been seen smiling, laughing. I'm not sure how much that's true or whether it's just clickbait, etc. But just very disappointing. 18th placed West Ham are holding Man United, and we're cheering on the fact that we've scored a last-minute goal. Yes, it's better than a defeat for sure. But it's only 1 point, and for me, I look at it as 2 points dropped. We should have never, ever dropped 2 points against West Ham yesterday. That's just very, very bad. Message from It's the Official Really Charlie. Hello to you. Thank you for joining on so late. It's 12:30 over in London. But yeah, guys, I'm just devastated again. It feels like this midweek set of fixtures has just gone really bad for us. The only solace is Chelsea also drawing, and probably they've got to be even more disappointed after the fact that they were leading 2-0. They let Leeds catch up, and at the end, they had a brilliant chance for Cole Palmer. How on earth he misses that out from 2 yards out, open goal. Yeah, if I was them, I'd be really pissed. But so should United. So should United. It's been a let off. This was a chance of us really cementing that top four slot, and that's what we've got to go for. I'm not sure if top five would be good enough for Champions League. As things stands, yes, we're in the driving seat, but Aston Villa have won. Liverpool are chasing up, you know. Um, it's just, yeah, it's going to be 12 finals before the end of the season for Man United, for sure. All right. So, hello from Birmingham, Sad and Akai. Hi, sorry, one day you will famous. Thank you very much. Samantha, Bear, Rashid Boot, Arsenal simply the best. Well, you are at the moment. It's very tough for me to argue against that. And listen, I think even Arsenal, they were devastated, I'm sure, at the Manchester City Liverpool game. How football, such fine margins for Liverpool to be 1-0 up for quite a while and just let it all slip towards the end. Yeah, very, very bad. Let's hope Champions League and Premier League champions. Well, Arsenal. So you've never won the Champions League in. It's funny actually. You mentioned that. I mean, I'm not hating on Arsenal fans, but in fact, I don't think, from a United perspective, you know, Liverpool are clearly our most hated. That's who I hate, absolutely despise, and of course now you've got the noisy neighbours coming up, but Arsenal is a funny one. I don't mind the club. I don't mind some of the football. I've liked some of the players, but the fans are so deluded and so delusional. I mean, I've been hearing of Arsenal fans talking about quadruple and winning this and that. Mate, you've never won the Champions League ever in your life. Try and win it for the first time ever instead of going for doubles, triples, quadruples even. But anyway, yeah, it could happen. Listen, the Premier League's well within your grasp. I think you should win it. From a United perspective, I hope for Man United to win it. I can't see that happening. Certainly not after the draw. But if United don't win it, can't see Aston Villa winning it. And between City and yourselves, the Arsenal, I'd rather Arsenal win it. So I think you're in the driving seat for it. Man City can certainly ruin the party, but let's hope not. Let's hope not. But it's going to be, look, it's not going to be easy. That's the point I'm making. It's so tight. People were talking about Arsenal running away with the league. People were talking about West Ham being relegated, even Burnley, done and dusted. Listen, West Ham are within touching distance of Nottingham Forest, of Leeds and Spurs above them, and Burnley are only 3 points behind, or only 6 points behind them. Look, at the bottom, it's a lot tougher. Tougher to see Burnley win. They've got to win more than half of their games for them to have any chance of survival. But yeah, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. So, yeah, any other fans, any other teams? Everton had a pretty crushing defeat. So did Crystal Palace. Carly Official, hello from Kent. Hello to you too. Who are you all supporting? So yeah, Brentford are in form, by the way, Rashid. Brentford are in form. It would not surprise me if they got something out of the game tomorrow, by the way. it's what I was hoping Sunderland would do to Liverpool. Sunderland have got a pretty good record at home. The Northeast teams, they travel bad, but they're pretty strong at home. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. A corner, I believe, from Salah and a header from Van Dijk. The two stalwarts for Liverpool who've been doing it for years. They've come in and rescued Liverpool. So look, it's going to be very, very tough. And I think this is the period, again, coming back to a United perspective. This is where United should take advantage of their one game a week. Look, listen, we're not going to qualify for Europe from any of the cups. The Carling Cup, I believe, the winners of the Carling Cup automatically qualify for the is it the Europa League or the Europa Conference League? I'm not sure, but it's one of them. The Europa League. The winners of the Europa League qualify for the Champions League. The winners of the FA Cup. Sorry, I think the Carling Cup winners qualify for the Conference League. We're not in that, obviously. The winners of the FA Cup qualify for the Europa League. We're not in that. And then top four qualify for the Champions League. So that's our only chance of success. And that's what we've got to go for. But the fact that we don't play any other tournaments mean that we can actually have a rest. And I think our next game is now the following weekend. So we've got about 10 days to rest, shake off any injuries, and we've got to treat it all as a final, basically. So yeah, that's I want to just take to you guys just to reignite, how closely fought the Premiership is. Every position matters, and when we look at the distribution of wealth, every point matters, every position matters. So I think it's going to be super, super tight. And let's go. I'm going to have to put this disappointment of this draw against West Ham behind me, behind us. We're going to have to do it as United fans. And let's go hell for leather. I think the third spot is up for grabs. I'm not convinced by Aston Villa's challenge. I think this 3 points came at a very opportune time for them, and I believe it was an own goal by a Brighton player. So, there's still a lot of twists and and ups and downs to come in the Premier League, because this is not done yet. Most of the British clubs are also still in Europe. That's going to play an effect. That's going to be a factor. So it's all to play for, guys, all to play for. From a United perspective, I hope this is where we can come within our own, our best players can play. And more importantly, I hope Carrick can look beyond just that starting 11 and play, putting our best team against the opposition and the style of play. I think that's going to be really important. Yesterday was a big lesson, should have been a big lesson for him. He got two things majorly wrong. Well, more than two things, but for me, two big things. And that was, to start off with, we should have played Shesko for me. Absolutely. Secondly, West Ham were tightening that centre. We're making it very, very difficult with compact bands of four to get through. And they kept leaving. Their outlets were also on the wing, but they kept leaving our wingers, our fullbacks, free. And yet we never put in any crosses. So that's where I think Shesko should have played, number one. And number two, even if Shesko was not playing, we should have been putting crosses. We should have been getting people inside the box. And that would have freed our midfielders up a lot more. So those were the two major mistakes, and I think Shesko, by scoring that last goal, did himself no harm at all. And hopefully, our next game, I don't know who it is yet. I haven't checked, but we'll be playing a lot more. You know, those 12 games are mostly against teams who are going to sit back against us. Listen, everyone has looked at Man United, whether it's been against Amram's Man United or indeed against Carrick's Man United. If you play open, if you attack us, you're leaving yourselves open, and it's going to be criminal. It's a criminal offense as far as football goes to leave yourself open against Man United, because we will pick you apart. As good as anybody, the best counter-attacking team in the league, as good as anybody in punishing teams from that position. Teams know that. But at the same time, as good as we are when the opposition is attacking us, we are equally as bad when they play a low block and we've got to prod and probe and carve chances open. We're not good at that. And we are very over-reliant on set pieces. Even yesterday, first half, the only thing we had was a chance from Bruno, which unfortunately got cleared off the line by Wan-Bissaka, a shot from Luke Shaw, actually, from a pass from Bruno. So that's all that we created. Not good enough. We have got to get the quality of crosses better. I hope the team works on that in these 10 days. Dalot, Shaw, whoever is playing on those wide positions. Perhaps we should get, instead of having the inverted wingers as part of a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, maybe let's put Mbeumo on the left and Cunha on the right and get crosses into Shesko. So that could be an option, but we have got to get those crosses. Because from midfield, when we are free, Kobe Mainoo's put in a great cross. That nearly got converted. Well, that was at the back of the net by Casemiro. Didn't get counted. And then Bruno Fernandes put in a cross, another midfielder. Xerxes nearly scored, not to be, unfortunately. And then in the end, Mbeumo crossed to Shesko. And I don't think that was a particularly great cross necessarily. It was behind Shesko. It was just that was such a deft touch and great finish. All right. Hello, and who's we? You're not on the team. Yes, I am, mate. My spirit is very much on the team. So big L to you. UK currency, hi and bye. Hello to you too. All right. Well, I'm going to take your leave now. It's 1:45. And let's hope for Brentford win tomorrow. Or not, depending who you want to win in the league. But pretty interesting. All in all, I think football wins. And as far as neutral fans goes, then you guys have been served up a treat. Take care now and see you all later. Bye-bye.